Okay, all right. Kathy, you ready?
Yeah.
Ron? Yep. Okay, will you please rise on the silent prayer. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. I will now call the regular Tuesday, July 19th, 2016 meeting of the Doggy County Commission to order at 4:02. Have you had a chance to review the minutes as provided?
Yes.
Not hearing any corrections, the minutes will stand approved as read. Okay, public comment period. Looks like the only one is Mike O'Brien who wants to speak. Can we come up to the microphone?
Yeah, I've been a resident of Dodge County for over 40-some years, and I just wanted to stop by and thank you gentlemen for that library. I went to the opening of the library, and it's such a positive note in this community, and I just want to stop by and thank you. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we all agree with that. Of course, it's very encouraging to hear positive feedback and positive words from the taxpayers and citizens of Dodge County. Ronnie, you have anything?
I just want to thank Mikey Headley and the Sheriff Department and all the cops around this world that take our lives every day in danger. We ought to thank for what we have here in this county. That's all.
Butch?
Have nothing. Thank you.
I don't have anything. All right. New business, what we're going to do is move Jamie Reiser because you have a meeting this afternoon later. We're going to move you to right now.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have the revised budget. Read off This is a revised budget that we have been working on, that we had to go to all 3 county commissions to make sure everybody's going to stay on board with their day report centers, and as it turns out, everybody's on board. We're moving forward. This is our revised budget. We had a pledge of 82, I don't remember right offhand, I don't have the paper, but the new revised budget, we're requesting $85,664 to complete our budget for 2017, 2018, 2016, 2017 budget.
Okay. That was paying the utilities out of the fees collected, right?
Out of the fees collected, correct.
Okay, any questions or discussion?
One thing, Mike, I think, Jamie. How much money did this save the county? I mean, people want to see us give you $85,000 at the end, but they didn't know how much money was saved. You guys were saving the county.
It was around $382,000, I believe. So we have, the total out of the county's pocket, I guess, is $110,269 this year. So there's a savings there of $270,000, which is quite substantial.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to get down to the dollar amounts. I mean, I want to look at the people that we're helping, what they're doing out here, doing community service, picking up the garbage along the road, the tires. It's just astronomical, and I don't have that. We literally finished this about 5 minutes ago when I ran up here. But yeah, I'll get that in the paper so everybody can see what we have saved and what we've done in the county. We've had great success stories this year. We have a couple people working union jobs. About 85% of our people right now are working. So we're making an impact on them. So they're getting some positive impact. We are the only substance abuse treatment basically in Doddridge and Ritchie County. Pleasants County has Westbrook, but we're about it. So it's a valuable commodity for the county.
My thing, I think people see us get $85,000 again. They say, well, they're here to do again, spend more money, you know.
Yeah, we were, well, $310,000, $440 for a year-to-date savings to the county. So it's quite substantial.
Okay.
Butch, do you have any questions or comments? Okay. I don't have any other questions. Do we have a motion to approve? You'll make a motion that we approve the requested $85,664?
I do.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the requested $85,664. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
To the back.
No.
Yes.
You need it.
Yes.
I know.
I'm
You're blue. Thank you, Commissioners, for your support. We'll continue to do a good job for you, doing our best.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a place to move? Are you looking for a place to move out of downtown, or are you staying?
As of right now, we're staying.
Staying, okay.
There's talk about different places, but we're still there for right now.
Okay.
Do you have a place for us?
No, I said if somebody tells me of a building or whatever, I just want to know if you guys are interested.
We would entertain anything right now.
I think that's part of the needs assessment. That's part of the study.
I actually did Jamie's interview. I actually interviewed Jamie for the needs assessment.
Who did?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we couldn't be here the week where Jamie could, so I talked to him.
Yeah, we just did the interview the other day.
Well, we want to,
You were late. You were late.
She's very good motivational
She was
interview.
nice to you.
Yes. Did a good
He
job.
greeted me about it. He told me everything.
All right, thank you all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, Greg Cottrell.
All right. As we briefly talked last meeting, we are submitting land and water conservation grant, which the park has received both in 1972 and 1989. 72 was for the initial development of the park, and 89 was for playground that's in the center of the park. So this is not unfamiliar to the county submitting for land and water conservation funds. They have different tiers, 400 and above, up to 800, 2 to 400, and 1 to 200, and then under 100. We're actually submitting 2 separate grants, one in the 2 to 400 range and one in the $1 to $200,000 range, all requiring 50% matches of the totals. And here's our budget for what we're planning, and I've got other documents, but Project A is the $380,000 project. And Project B is the $194,000 project. Oh, there you go. And we can take them one at a time. But what is a little different than what I anticipated, because the West Virginia Office of Economic Development ruled that the Doddridge County Park cannot submit. Both the previous grants were submitted through Doddridge County Commission. So in addition to a pledge letter asking for a resolution that we can submit for you, and also a designation of the property that we refer to as Adventure Park as part of, as protected parkland, basically, and then a pledge letter for support for that. So in detail, the grant for Project A is $380,000, $380,638, of which we need to match 50%. The park board met last night, and on that grant has pledged $65,319. There's a letter at the back of your, actually I'll tell you what. If you would like, here is the details on that particular grant. I think some of you may have a copy of it. Yeah. That's the three, yeah. And so the park has pledged $65,319 and is asking the commission to pledge $125. Just to be specific, 2 separate grants, so we would need a resolution for each, a pledge letter for each, and then a commitment that we would keep the parkland as park. And the if we get one grant, either the larger, or if we get the larger one, the smaller one would be null and void. We only can get one grant. But because we're going into 2 tiers, so we can, if we do not get the larger grant, we can then be evaluated for the smaller one at the 190 or
198.
Yeah, 190. Yeah. So we did 2, so that if we do not get the larger grant, we can still be evaluated for the smaller grant and lower the amount into the lower tier, basically, just to be proactive. We don't know how competitive it'll be. We don't know how many are going to be submitted. So, but this is our first kind of foray into large grants, and so this is what we're doing. If you look at your budget request sheet, it kind of outlays that we're doing some yurts, some decking for those, tent camping sites, the various support type things like fire rings, picnic tables, grills, trail development of a 1-mile trail, some steps along the trail, as well as a footbridge across Middle Island, or I'm sorry, Newhouse Fork, and then trail signage, trailheads, distance markers, and things like that. And that comes to, in Grant A, or Project A, $380,000. So the first thing would be, I guess, discussion on the resolution to actually submit the grant in the project. And then talk about designating the land as protected parkland, just like the 57 acres are of the historical park, and then talk about the pledge on this. I'm sure there's questions, so I can field any that you have.
I know that you had previously discussed the possibility of donations from outside organizations.
Yes, and I'm still working on a variety of different opportunities of donation, but I haven't currently received any pledges. So I've met with just a variety of business businesses, business owners, and trying to make that happen. But right now, that hasn't worked. Now, obviously, if neither grant is awarded, money is unencumbered, it goes back to the general fund, which language is in there that says it would go back to the general fund. And if we do raise money, if we do in the time period get some pledges between now and next year, obviously we could adjust what monies were drawn down from the commission. So keep working on that. I will say we've had positive meetings. People are excited about the project. People are wanting to make support it, but anything firm is not occurred.
I guess this is as good a time as any. I had wanted at the last meeting, and I sort of did, but I want to address, and it may sound like it's directed at you and the park, but it's not really.
Well, if it's...
I mean, but, so, keep that in mind. The issue, well, let me back up. I think it was in Deer Abbey that I saw a letter. And what the letter said was, why don't kids raising money, or groups raising money, have car washes anymore and bake sales? Instead, they're all standing outside Walmart and Sam's Club just begging for money. And I see that sort of being expressed with requests from the Dogwood County Commission. Now, over the last couple of years, money has been pretty easy to come by. I think that's probably going to change somewhat in the coming years. And what it seems to me is that instead of the last stop to raise money, the county commission has become the first stop. And so what I want to do, and the purpose of what I'm saying is to get the word out to anybody and everybody, not just you. It's not directed at you. Get the word out that we don't have an endless amount of money. So make any requests be very meaningful, if that makes sense. And like I say, it's not directed at the park. It's just that we have been, I won't say inundated, but it's been real close. And people might say, well, $125,000, that's not much. And it's not a lot considering this project, but if we have 125 and then 250 for the water plan and 250 for this and $500,000 for that, pretty soon we're talking about serious money. And that's what I want to get across to people. I don't know if either of the other commissioners have anything to say about that or not, but if they do, I would appreciate that if they speak up. If they don't have anything, that's fine too.
Well, I think people anymore think that we are a bank. They come in here and draw money off the bank and not pay their inventory. And I understand everybody's got good things to do in the county. And I'm not directly at you.
I understand.
Everybody's got a good project, but sometimes later we got to start saying, we got to back off and give them so much money out.
I think we're a little late in what you're saying, Greg, because if anybody money that asks for money. I agree with you that they need to help a little bit. They need to have some fundraisers, they need to help yourself, you know, and our money is going to dry up. I mean, that's no secret. We try to help everybody the best we can. I think we've done a real good job of giving out money to people, real good. And I think we need to watch very closely what we're doing now. No, not picking on you, Greg, not picking on the park.
I'm just the trigger.
It's just like, you know, the bank is running low. The bank is running low. And as a resident of Douglas County for over 50 years, there's nothing more I want to see is that park grow. And it will grow.
I agree.
It will grow.
I agree.
I'm not saying we're not going to get you the money. That's not what I'm saying.
And I appreciate those comments, I really do. I have been in situations where I've been making decisions about dispersing monies for grants and scholarships to kids and foundation in previous work, and I know how difficult it is to make decisions about who you're going to give money to and how much you're going to give money to, and Lord knows, I know it's difficult, so I appreciate the comments, I do.
It makes hard to say, well, I'm just going to speak for myself. I don't want to speak for Ronnie or Greg, but it makes my decision a lot easier if somebody walks in here and say, well, we did this, so many weekends, we did this, and we raised $4,000, and we've done the best we can. Okay, we'll help, we'll be glad to help you.
And I appreciate that. And I have made numerous inquiries and visits to businesses that operate in this county. All have expressed a willingness to support us. But again, a willingness to support and then cutting a check is totally different. That's a different step. And we haven't got there yet. I think it takes time to develop relationships. I think it takes time to get to the point where they have faith in the park system that we're going to fulfill what we're saying we're going to fulfill. I think it takes time for them to develop faith that the monies they're giving us are going to be spent the way that they want. And that does take time. This is for all intents and purposes, the park asking a corporation for money is a new thing. We're a new player in the charitable giving realm right now, I feel personally. And so, you know, we're just making ourselves known to a lot of these businesses that weren't really aware that we're a charity, a government charity, but they can make donations to. We've established an endowment fund at the Parkersburg Community Foundation. We're establishing a 501c3, Friends of the Park, so some people don't want to give to quasi-governmental entities.
Right.
They would rather give to a truly 501c organization. So our accounting firm is actually, we're waiting to get that number so that we can have a Friends of the Park 501c3 where people can feel more, corporations can feel more secure that they're giving to a true nonprofit that they can get tax benefits from. And I know that people give for a whole bunch of different reasons. Charitable giving, fine. From the heart, that's great. Recognition, we'll take it. We'll give you recognition. And then also just tax benefits. People just give because of tax benefits. Got to find all that right mix of things. I hear what you're saying, and I don't envy your decision making. So.
Well, it's been so many years that the commission didn't have any money to give anybody to help them do anything. The park should have had city water 20 years ago. Did they have money to do it? No, they didn't have any money to do it. Now we got a little bit of money. All these things are hitting us all one time. We need this. We need this.
Right.
Well, you know, the bank's only so big.
I agree.
That's all I got to say. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Greg.
Sir.
When's your deadline for these grants to go in?
We would submit July 29th. This July 29th, 10 days. So there are there's two separate grants here. The first one is asking for support of a pledge of $125,000. The second one is asking for a pledge of support. The park is going to do $44,429 and asking the commission for a pledge of $55,000. So it's about a little less than half of the $125,000 for the larger project. So, and that's in recognition of obviously the amounts that we're asking for, amount of reserves that the park has to pledge ourselves, and then also what we want to accomplish. So, you know, I think everyone's aware that of the master plan or the planning that we're trying to accomplish with water, sewer, cabins, the whole gamut of what we're trying to develop over there, and it'll be a $4 to $6 million project over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, probably. I mean, it really will. We're not going to build cabins over there for a small amount of money, and we're not going to put trails in. It takes money to clear and develop trails and roadways, and you know, if this is the course that the Parks and Recreation Commission chooses and the county commissioners endorse, then, you know, my path's pretty clear. Move every day a little bit to accomplish this project. And grants are available. We've been successful with this particular grant on 2 previous occasions. So, you know, it's just incrementally every day working a little bit to make this project successful. Now, if we reevaluate and the project isn't at the scope that we're trying to accomplish or this, that, and the other, then that's a different story. But right now, based on the scope of the project, it's going to take effort over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, every day, a little bit, trying to move projects forward, bits and pieces, working 6 or 8 avenues at a time to bring certain things together. You know, I feel like we've been very successful with our work with the National Guard. If everything goes positively, they'll be on site putting roads and RV slips in August. I think our cooperation with PSD in that particular project has been good, and that's going to be a benefit. So, you know, it may sound, you know, we're doing infrastructure, it's not sexy, we're building roads and putting water in and putting electric in. We've also had a really positive conversation with First Energy on 3-phase power and tapping into their project that they're doing along 18 that they're going to be out through there, and we are going to benefit from that. Park is. So, you know, everything just, you know, it takes time, and yeah, we're not building a zip line yet, but we are putting the foundation in place for it. So,
I think sometimes too, people, they got their tax papers now, are looking in tax papers and say, there's money for the library, money for the park. Then they,
Health department.
Yeah, and then they say, you come here and ask for this money, say, what's all people doing with all the money? Yeah.
well, I think most people realize the difference between their taxes going to support what I would call the operations, the day-to-day
Yeah.
operations, paying $2,000, $2,500 electric bills, and not water bills, but gas bills and this, that, and the other, versus a capital
Yeah.
improvement project. So, we can review the second one, or I kind of went through it there. I've submitted the resolution and the 6F pledge of park property, as well as the pledge letter to your administrative assistant, and I'm sure it's been reviewed. So if you have specific wordage or verbiage questions, you can let me know. Other than that,
Betsy, have you?
Yeah, I have some questions, but,
you need to worry about that. The certificate of title, I've already read, that's fine.
I'd like to go into executive session so we can talk about the legal implications.
Okay. All right.
Good call.
Motion to go into second session.
We have a motion to go into executive session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're back into regular session.
So moved.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're back into regular session at 5:05. We are going to table this particular item on the agenda until, and we're calling a special meeting on Wednesday, July 27th at 5:15. Do we need to vote on that? We don't need to vote on that, do we? Call it a special meeting.
No, you just have to call it.
We probably need to make a motion to table the issue.
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
Still move.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, West Virginia Corp. approved member agreement. Uninsured, underinsured motorists. We have to do this every year, don't we?
Yep. That's not the price. Already have to go to the
Okay. So, on the uninsured or underinsured,
That's the uninsured.
the uninsured, we have options. The mandatory limits, which are 25,000 per person, 50,000 per accident, 25,000 damage. Optional limits, bodily injury, 100,000 per person, per accident, 300,000, property damage, 50,000, or single limit of $1 million. If we were to choose the mandatory limits, that's a credit of $248. Optional limits is included. The single limit of $1 million is $15,500. So what's your,
What do we have last year?
I'm not sure, but I would almost bet we went for the optional limit that was included.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a,
I'll make a motion to keep that last year.
okay, which is the optional limits, which is included and doesn't cost any additional money. Do we have a motion? You made that motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So I just check that. And on the underinsured, the optional limits are 25,000 bodily injury, 50,000 bodily injury per accident, property damage of 25,000. That would be a credit of $217 if we elected that. The single limits, $250,000 is included, or $1 million for $15,500. And if we reject the underinsured coverage, it's a $310 credit. I would say once again that we probably took what was included last year, and that's the $250,000. Do we have a motion? We have a motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, there's another one. that is just the agreement itself
Yep.
for West Virginia Corp. To provide insurance coverage. Looks like the annual contribution is $184,286. Any questions? No. Anyone want to make a motion? We have a motion to accept West Virginia Corp. as our service agent, service agent is Public Risk Services, Inc. It's a member agreement.
You don't need to approve on that because you've already approved them before.
Okay.
This just needs signed because you're approving the limits where shares can include.
Okay. Okay, so we don't need a,
Because that you've already approved it, that was
Okay.
just to show that you approved it. That amount.
I think this is it.
Yep.
Okay. Now, approve downstream strategies water report. Okay? I guess I could have read that. Basically looked to me like very similar to the reports that we've had in the past. Do you think I need to read it?
No change from last time. Everything's the same.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept?
So moved.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I need to sign anything on this? Okay. All right. Mr. George, you're up.
Already?
Already?
Good afternoon. For floodplain permits, we didn't have any permits. We had called for assistance about 8 and various other calls. I'm finally I'm the environmental coordinator for the county as well as the building inspector and all this other stuff. But as far as assistance for floodplain, there's about 8. For the run reports, because we didn't get them in time for the last meeting, for law enforcement, the sheriff's office ran 122 calls, West Union Police 13, and the state police 15 calls. Emergency medical services, the Doddridge County Ambulance Authority 203 calls, and the only other one was Harrison County with 2 mutual aid calls. The fire department, West Union Volunteer Fire Department 17, Greenwood 26 calls, Smithburg Volunteer Fire Department 33, McClellan 24, and Banks Volunteer Fire Department 5 calls. And for the no response and refused calls, and again, those are just the initial unit didn't arrive on scene. There were 24 of those. With Banks Volunteer Fire Department, talked with Randy, the gentleman that was supposed to come out last week to connect their gas. I guess he got called out on something else because he's doing it for free. So he's going to try and get out either this weekend coming up or next weekend, depending on what's going on. For the activity report, there were no current EQT operations occurring in Doddridge County. They also gave me information that they made a $50,000 donation to the West Virginia Volunteer Organizations Active in Disasters, which is VOAD. That was what the state's elected officials suggested they donate to. Mountain Valley Pipeline LLC and its joint venture partners, including EQT Midstream Partners LP, is making an additional donation of $25,000. In addition to the donations by EQT and Mountain Valley Pipeline, the employees have joined forces individually donating time, supplies, and money to VOAD and other charitable organizations. Employees' individual monetary contributions are eligible for dollar match by EQT. So EQT is doing a lot in the community and also throughout the state with the flood that was going on. On the 8th, I gave a certificate for the floodplain manager's test. I passed that with a condition of employment moving into the county, so I've gotten both of those. I will probably never keep that test again. I'll just keep the certification up. That was one of the worst tests I've ever taken. I don't want to say that. The 13th, the Doddridge County Health Department received 3 laptop computers through the grant from Homeland Security, one of the grants I put in for. They were very happy with the laptops and bringing on equipment. And on the 18th, we started work, Mary and I did, on placing informational pamphlets in various locations. We've got all the pamphlets ready. We're just going to go out and see who's going and put them into there. I'm going to try to the library and stuff like that. And we're going to start doing outreach and educational stuff. And we do have the LEPC meeting coming up on Thursday. I've got the minutes from the last one in May and the agenda for the next one.
Okay.
Any questions?
The generator out to Smith School.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from Dominion to see if they were willing to put a tank out. If not, then we'll have to look at pricing LP tank just for the winter.
For that fuel. Thanks, and Smith School down too, is not hooked up, right?
It's not hooked up, but it's going to be. Just,
okay.
The guy has to have time to do it. He's doing it. He's one of Dominion's employees. They're just paying him to do it when he has time, and he just didn't have time. I was going to call down. Anything else? Yes, sir.
2 bridges, low water bridges in the county,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them going Big Flint, one of them go over to Center Point. What action?
The Big Flint one, I believe I've mentioned that in the commission meeting. The company had decided they were just going to take the bridge out and it'd be up to the landowner to put a new one in. Haven't heard anything back on that. That was up to the landowner now. The other one from up there on 23, still waiting on them. They put in their stuff. They're still waiting on all of the permits to come back, like Army Corps and stuff like that they have to do. They're just going to move the bridge. As far as I know.
JB Road, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Just congratulations
Awesome. Thank you.
on passing that test. I've heard from various other people that it's very difficult.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that concludes, well, do we have any budget revisions? Okay.
Nominations too.
Okay.
Okay, this is an in-house budget revision. It's to pay for George's assistant. We're moving it from his equipment. He's not going to get that equipment and stuff, but since he has an assistant, she can do all what the computer program was going to do. So we're moving it up to salary and like that way you guys didn't have to move money in there. He just used to put in his own budget.
Okay.
So that's the in-house budget.
We have an in-house budget revision totaling $13,000. Moving $13,000 from floodplain equipment to floodplain salary, $12,170, and floodplain FICA, $830. Do we have a motion?
So,
We have a motion to approve budget revision. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
These are things that changed since we did our budget, of course. Well, this is, 3,500 is what Dwight came in and talked to you about last meeting. And we're actually moving the money in there to pay for that, I guess, the scanning of his, some more documents. Okay. That's the 35 for the circuit clerk. Okay. Another issue that's come up is co-severance fund. When we did the budget, we thought we'd have another year where we could pay all the newspaper advertisements out of, but by the end of the year, there was some big expenses in that area. The tax publication was a little higher than we expected, and then the ballot was so huge, and that cost a lot of money. So it depleted coal severance, so we can't take it out coal severance. So we need to put it in these accounts that have large newspaper advertisement. One will be the county commission. I suggest you move 5,000. The county clerk has to do like estates, so she needs like 2,000. The circuit clerk, no, it's not circuit. The tax office basically, it needs about 8,000 to cover like when they have to do publication for taxes, and the election for the ballot about 2,000. So that was, we normally take it out coal severance, but we're not getting as much in, and we depleted it pretty much last year. There's a little bit left in it, but not enough to cover this year. So we need to move money in those accounts to cover their newspaper publications. And then the agriculture agent, young man they've been hiring, they reimburse the county for that, but there's no money in this year's budget to pay that. You have to pay them up front, then they reimburse us out their levy money. And this one was. We have an employee that does the tobacco coalition. They give the money to the Day Report Center. She does disperse pamphlets and does promotion of tobacco-free to kids, and they donate that money. We pay it, but we have to pay it out in general county, so we move money from community corrections paid the county back, but it's in revenue, so I need to move it into expenditures. And that's what the budget revisions are, just a lot of different things.
Does anybody have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve this budget revision of a total of $29,688? We have a motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yes, I forgot to say, I didn't. And there I. Okay, I'll read the amounts of the exoneration and exonerations. $89.92, $139.44, $84.46, $17.32, $514.52, $357.10, $1,675.66, $1,779.18, $1,962.38, $13.06, $11.34, $86.62, $81.02, $72.64, $62.86, $65.30, $285.24. Any questions or a motion? We have a motion to approve the exonerations. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, do we have any probate orders? Pardon? Okay. That completes our regular agenda. I don't even see too many invoices.
Well, they're back here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Just
It's a big
kidding.
one this time.
Oh, boy.
We may be here a little longer.
Oh, boy. Very hard man.
The first year always has some.
I gave them to Randy.
Thank you. Oh, wait, your son. Go ahead.
That'll be a while.
It's completely appropriate at the time. Yeah. I think it's a licensing issue for HR and.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I'll go check.
Hi, Betsy.
Guys, be careful,
We will.
Thank you.
have fun, don't learn too much.
Hopefully I'll see you maybe Wednesday, 27th of May.
Coming off fine.
What you get done there, guys, that's too much work.
He's resting.
They're great, you got to sign that in there.
He's just resting.
It's right, rested.
And this goes to,
Yeah, I just need to get that sign. Statement.
Just forgot the camera.